All right, race fans, welcome to Live Tonight here. Season finale, Bristol style for the Sim Racing Authority. SRA, SimSpeedShop.com, Cup Series tonight. Well, it's going to be a good one because 6 drivers are going to battle it out for a championship. Well, as always, Joe Wade up in the booth, and I'm going to tell you what, got a special guest back up here with me. It's been a long time, but I tell you, it's good to have him back up here. Ryan Daniels. Ryan, how you doing, man?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic. How are you doing tonight, Joe?
Man, doing good. I tell you what, we're getting geared up here. Bristol. Last night was an exciting race. I had fun watching it as qualifying has ended. Good these guys up here tonight, though, because this last race, we're going to crown the champ. Jake Nichols puts it on pole. He put it on pole last night. He won the race. He won the championship. He defended his title. Can he do it tonight back to back? David Shutt, though, sitting there in second. Third place man will be Ryan Hunt. Delonte Ballard comes showstopper. He started there in fourth. Fifth place man, James Coulibaly. I got Kyle Trudell starting in sixth. Seventh place man, Benjamin Nelson. Showed me the Benjamins. Came up a little short last night, but he's looking to retaliate here. Zach Nichols starting in eighth. Ninth place man, Femi Alot and Ariotti come to Hitman out there. He's in 10th. Look through the rest of this field. Boy, we got some heavy hitters. And it's going to be anybody's ball game here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Trying to get my iRacing to cooperate with me. Looking back in the 11th starting spot, we've got the 98 of Tyler Sifford. His outside is going to be the 09 of Bryce Senesac. The row behind them is going to see in the 13th spot John Furness in the 82. Behind him, the number 1 of Jared Darling. In the 17th spot, we have Brent Kunkari. 18th is going to be Ethan Kurtz, and rounding out the field is going to be Morgan Baird.
Yeah, like you just said, man, a good star-studded field here at the SRA. I mean, these guys, you know, I've always said it, Sim Racing Authority. You bring that authority to it, man, at the end, and whew, can't wait here tonight to see what these guys have got in tow.
Yeah, it should be a great race. You and I both have seen what a lot of these guys in this field do, and I've never had the pleasure of calling an SRA event before, but I do have experience calling races with some of these drivers before, and I can tell you what, it's been a long time, but I'm well-versed in how some of these guys like Jake Nichols have come along in their iRacing career, and it'll be definitely interesting to see what all these drivers...
No way about it. You know what I mean? It's short, it's beating and banging. Now, the one thing I noticed these guys were talking about, as the pace car's in, we're getting set to go green flag here. The one thing these guys were talking about here tonight was it seems like it's loose. You know, they were having a little bit of trouble. But we're going to have to see what this cup car is. This actually, I'm trying to think here, Ryan, if this is the first time I've done one in the cup car, or broadcasted one. Actually, I mean, it's not the first time I've done one here, but broadcasted one with this new package with the cup car. You know, I've done trucks, I've done the Xfinity. I'm trying to think if I've done one with the cup. I don't think I have.
Yeah, I'm not real sure. I know I certainly haven't. I haven't called a race all the way since back in October, and I can't even recall the last time I did one before then, but I have certainly not driven these cup cars on this new configuration on this track, but we're seeing how these guys handle it. I noticed right off the bat, especially with the 20 car of Jake Nichols when he went down to turn 1 off the start, these cup cars are bottoming out a lot in the corners, especially on entry.
Yeah, you're right. I saw the sparks fly right there. Man's going off into it, but Jake's got a good, comfortable lead. It's going to be interesting because we know at this track, the high lane, and you can already see guys sliding. Benjamin Nelson came out of it real slick. That's the one thing I heard him talking about in practice. They're going to be slick, man, as we're under caution here. Like
I think it might have been the 14.
Oh, Ethan. Oh, man, let's see what happened to him here. And, yeah, just came out of the turn, what we were just talking about. He just came out of the turn. Car slipped sideways on him, bottomed out, and the next thing you know, boom. I'm noticing that too. So with that bottoming out, I mean, you're a driver, Ryan. You drove. With that bottoming out, man, is that going to make these cars really, really slick?
Yeah, absolutely, especially on the exit of the corner like that, because that's basically indicating that the splitter is hitting the splitter or some area of the car is hitting the bottom of the racetrack, creating those sparks, which is basically bouncing the car off the ground. And if the car is bouncing off the ground on the exit of the corner when you're wanting to put the power down and go straight, and those rear wheels bounce and come off the track even a little bit, you're going to spin around like we just saw the 14 of Ethan Kurtz do. So I feel like this is certainly why I think we saw the leaders there preferring the high lane, because I think the bottom lane right now is very treacherous with the way these cars are handling.
Absolutely, and a lot of these guys were talking about that in practice. They were all about, man, it's going to be, slick. It's going to be this and that. They were having trouble. Now last night they thought, hey, look, it was good. My understanding, could be wrong here, and I think this is in real life, but it's kind of in iRacing. Obviously, there is no lessened power because it's a short track, so they have the full power. But somebody told me that they're using a different tire, maybe like the super speedway tire or something, that might change the characteristics of the car. Do you know what they're talking about?
Unfortunately, I don't. I have heard that there may have been a update to the tire model to iRacing to go along with the handling that is required with the new aero packages for the updated Cup cars and such. But I don't actually know like the effects it has on the cars on particular racetracks across the board. Unfortunately.
Yeah, and that's something, man, I need to check into. I know last night Jake actually he alluded to it just a little bit, saying that the car was kind of slick, and that's the Xfinity car. Obviously, a little less, and he just mentioned that, and I was kind of curious. So if anybody out in the chat knows, hey, throw the knowledge our way, definitely. Well, tonight we mentioned it. It is the season finale here for the SRA. We crowned the champ last night. Jake Nichols put it on pole. He actually got caught up in a little trouble earlier on, but you can do that at Bristol and kind of bounce back, and was able to come back and win the race. Obviously defend his title and win the championship. Well, tonight, Benjamin Nelson, 6 drivers out here. There's no points, no bonus points. And by the way, Ryan, lap 80, they will do one stage caution. They do that here in SRA, at least one. So we're looking for lap 80. But there is no bonus points like normal. There is no points. It's whoever finishes in front of whoever gets the best position. So 6 drivers tonight: Benjamin Nelson, Jake Nichols, David Shutt, Femi Alott, Delonte Ballard, and Ariotti are the guys. And obviously right now, Delonte Ballard being the man up front, not the night he wanted last night. But, you definitely know Jake's going to be there. Benjamin's there. Whew, it's going to be a close one tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And unfortunately for myself, as you just mentioned, I only am familiar with about half of the names of the drivers in this field. So it's definitely going to be an exciting experience for me to see how these guys handle it as we've gone back green. And I apologize, I was not live.
Yeah, me either, man. I'm going to tell you what, I still was on the actual doggone, man, when we was doing the wreck. But you're right, we're back live here. Sorry about that, folks. There you get caught up in talking about the actual points and all. But Delonte Ballard out front, he's been out there for 12 laps on his tires. We'll have to see what that does. As all these guys right now, and caution already on the track. Oh, that looks like Morgan Beard. Hope I said his name right.
Yeah, I believe it's Morgan Baird, yeah.
Morgan Baird, okay. All right, let's see. Oh, looks like some dudes checked up in front of him, 15. He tried to check up, come out the turn, and wham! Over with.
Yeah, he just didn't look like he was anticipating the 15 moving up like he did, and just nowhere for the 10 car to go.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, from what I'm seeing already, patience. I've said it before, but there again, it's short track racing. These guys, man, are, I don't know. It's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys it's a top-notch field of drivers, but it's also still, it's Bristol, baby, as you said.
Love it, man. Short track racing, beating and banging, trading some paint here, like you said, Bristol. That last great Coliseum, I call it the fishbowl racing because it looks like a fishbowl with, the racetrack in the middle of it, and there's little fish flying around there at the cars. So, anyways, hey, young people don't get it, man. Come on.
I'm just sitting here trying not to crack up. I'm sorry.
I hear you, I tell you. Well, Delonte didn't have the night he wanted last night. He got caught up in some bad stuff. He was in the chase last night. Really didn't help him out. David Shutt, I call him the Nightmare. So you got the showstopper with the Nightmare right there beside him, David Shutt. I guess they're gonna have a heck of a show-stopping nightmare, I reckon. I don't know, but those two guys get together. It is definitely a show.
Yeah, I do recall that from back in the days of the Extreme when these guys used to light it up over there and calling those races with you. Definitely remember a few show-stopping nightmares we had over there from these two.
Oh, no doubt about it, man. I tell you what, Jake's back there behind him. Can't count him out. You still got Femi a lot. Now, Femi last night had a bad fast machine. Problem is, and it was no fault of his own, and no fault of, really the other driver. The other driver, it was a blinking thing. They came up on a lap car. It kind of like, obviously connection-wise, it blinked, and Femi had to move. When he did, unfortunately, Jake was there at the same time. They both spun. Femi got the worst end of that deal. And Jake was able to keep going. He got a little damage, but, you get a little damage. Short track racing. You should be all right.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of these racetracks are like that. And I have found one thing with the update that they've done to the Cup car now with the most recent aero packages. They seem to be a little bit more resilient than they used to be. And here at a place like Bristol, you're going to need that for sure, I'd say. Unfortunately, Morgan Baird has already had to take his car to the garage, as we saw. But some of these other cars, hopefully, will be able to take a beating and keep on ticking if they can keep rolling out here. And, it's still very early. It's only lap 17 of 250, and these guys got to save their equipment.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They definitely got to save it, man, and definitely going to have to be side by side and get this thing, man, going. It's going to be interesting. As they're going to line them back up, 2 by 2 by 2 all the way back here, get set to go back racing at Bristol Motor Speedway. Lights off on the pace car. You got Delonte Ballard, the man up front, going to send this crazy field to the green as we're getting set pace cars in. Here we go. And green flag is on. He wastes no time getting out front.
Absolutely not. He wastes no time getting out in front and behind them. He caught the 42 and David shut off guard a little bit. David able to close the door on Jake Nichols as they head into turn 3, and the battle's going to be for third now between Femi Olot in the 11 and Jake Nichols in the 20.
Absolutely, and up front, like you said, though, here comes David Shutt to the inside. He's going to make it door-to-door, but they don't watch out. Jake Nichols is right there. They already do some fender banging. I don't know which one's dominant at this moment. We haven't ran enough laps to see, but you can see the insides now because David Shutt, boy, slide job.
Yeah, absolutely, and there it was again. We talked about it. He bottomed out coming out of turn 4, and just immediately that car went crazy loose on him on the bottom of the track. He just did it again out of turn 2, and he's not even up to speed just yet.
Wow, and Jake Nichols trying on the inside, and he almost lost it. I'm going to tell you what, it is no man's land down there on the low end with that car. If you get up underneath somebody, it's going to be treacherous. If you don't get by them very quickly, you definitely are going to have your hands full with this machine. And we're seeing probably one of the best up there in Jake. I don't want to jinx him, Bob, because all these guys are very, very good. But he's having trouble trying to get around the Delonte up top there. I don't think that inside lane is a place to be right now.
No, absolutely not. I think the outside line is preferred just because of how loose these guys are getting. I feel like Jake is having to be really conservative on the bottom, even though he's still trying to fight for the lead. And that's kind of an oxymoron. He's up here fighting to try to take the lead, as I just mentioned, and trying to be conservative at the same time without spinning out his car, trying to see what it's going to be able to take to make that bottom line work. But now he's going to get side by side with Delonte Ballard as they head to turn 3.
Yeah, I'm watching where we're talking about that thing, man, hitting. Is that the splitter hitting the front, or is it actually the rear end bottoming out? I can't really tell. It might be that top right part of the splitter bottoming out, but man, either way, and he picked the lap car. That's probably the best way to get around it, man. He used the lap car. I know Delonte's probably yelling right now because guess what? He's in the wall.
Yes, he is. Delonte Ballard is not going to be a happy man.
Go back on the replay and watch exactly what happened. Delonte was up high holding his line, having a very good run. I don't think Jake would have got around him. Not on that low line the way it's been. and he came out of the turn, and then the next thing you know, they're coming up on a lap car, and the lap car's just up high, and the next thing, wow. And then the lap car takes him out. It's like, wow. I mean, I don't know, he didn't do it on purpose or nothing but that, but I mean, he got up into him, sent him up into the wall. Oh, things happen quickly here, man, at Bristol.
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to be a heartbreaker for the 21 at Delonte Ballard. He had such a good car early there, as we were saying. He was running up front, able to keep it side by side with the 20 of Jake Nichols, even though they were battling up at the front only for a few laps there. It was looking really strong, and he's going to pull the 21 back onto the racetrack, but certainly I don't believe it's going to be in quite the competitive shape that it just was in just a few moments ago.
2 nights in a row, he's been in the contention for a title, and disasters happen. Which, I mean, that's why I kind of like it, man. It's unique. They throw Bobby Chaney over here at SRA throws in these monkey wrenches, so to speak, in the Chase Championship race. Last season, Ryan, it was Talladega and Daytona. I mean, come on, that's a wild card race right there. Anything can happen. This year, Bristol. I've seen them do other crazy things like a road course or something crazy off the wall, like not just, Watkins Glen or Sonoma, like they use like Monza or something like that, just something crazy, or Bathurst or something. It's unique what he does to throw kind of, I think one person actually always said they need to throw the Roval in there for maybe one of the Chase races, but this kind of stuff right here, you just don't know. You come into Bristol, sure, you might have a good car. You might say, man, I'm good at Bristol. I like Bristol. It's good. But still, this place is so unpredictable. It's almost like plate races. You just don't know. As much as you think, man, hey, look, I'm good at them. I can race them. It's still, anything can happen. And just like that, Delonte, fast car out front. But hey, just got in trouble.
Yeah, absolutely, and it is like you said. It's definitely, especially here at Bristol, it's definitely like playing the lottery, just like a plate race where, anything can and will happen. You could be leading just as Delonte was, and they just happen to come up on a couple of slow cars. One went low, one went high, and just not enough communication there, I don't believe, between the drivers or spotters, and to try to figure out where everybody should have gone on that particular occasion, and that's what really led to that incident there, and it's just unfortunate. Just one of them racing deals, unfortunately, but for Delonte Ballard, as you noted, that's a championship crushing blow for him as it stands right now.
Yeah, and I'm not saying he can't get back up there, because obviously where, there's one thing is, we saw Jake last night, he got into trouble, and he was able to bounce back and win the race. Not saying Delonte can't, but it depends on how much that car's messed up, and with the way these cars are acting, it's going to be anybody's race. Now, Jake took the inside lane. We're going to have to see if that's going to benefit him as the pace car's in. He's obviously going to get the leader's advantage to take off, and he does get a good start. Now, I think he's going to get high, man, the fastest he possibly can.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's, you called it there. He wanted to get a good jump on the bottom of the racetrack so that by the time that he got to turn 3, he'd be able to put that 20 machine up on the top. And Jake Nichols is looking to stretch this thing out now, I do believe, which we have seen him do in the past. And behind him, as we see other guys just trying to single file it out, the best battle we have right now is for the 4th, 5th, and 6th spot between David Shutt, Ari Adi, and John Furness in the 42, 78, and 82. And now we have a caution out as well.
I just got a feeling, man, tonight's going to be a night that these guys are probably going to want to forget. I know they were down there, talking about it in practice. Just trying to find where the caution came from. Back here, looking at the back.
It would be the 79 of Benjamin Nelson.
Oh, man, another Chase driver. Wow, and just to give you an idea just how treacherous this is, folks, that's a peak driver. He's a pro driver. And I'm not saying that it's like, oh, Lord, a peak driver can't drive. No, that's just how treacherous it is out here with this setup. And it's a fixed setup, obviously. And with this track and conditions that, hey, don't matter your skill set. You be the worst guy on iRacing, the middle guy, or the best guy, and you're already seeing it. Trouble at Bristol. Man, look at Tow Mater out there already. Y'all have some work cut out for you tonight, Tomater.
Yeah, that's for sure. These guys are making his life difficult already there, Joe. And I just took a look back. I'm trying to watch to see if there's a difference between these cars, the manufacturers, anything like that, any particular one sparking or anything less than anybody else. And I did notice on that occasion, Benjamin Nelson's 79 car, all the way through 3 and 4, was bottoming out very severely. So I really do believe that that is what it is. These guys are all trying to run the high line, and you're only going to be able to make passes on the bottom. It's going to be so tempting to go down there, but every time you do, these cars are going to want to spin. I'm almost wondering, though, as the race goes on, if the track continues to rubber in, will that kind of cure that issue?
I don't know. Let's get the track temp because it's not too bad. We get a little info here. Obviously, half of a mile track, 4 turns, 84 degrees, 87 track temp. So at this moment, not bad. Normally used to seeing a lot hotter track, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think Bobby did say it might go into the nighttime. You can already see kind of some shade, overcast, man, going on to the track. I'm with you though, there, Ryan. Will the rubber come in? Will the the lane change or anything? Right now, that low line is just not the place to be. We've seen everybody mess up down there, and sparks are flying along with parts, man, on here at Bristol tonight.
Yeah, as we've
Who's
already
the
noted,
new
the work.
Yeah, Ryan's new.
New, old, I don't know. A little bit of both.
Well, just like real quick, since we're on the call, since Ryan Daniels, he actually was probably, if most people have followed me since I've started, actually, I would say Ryan was probably the first person who actually started with broadcasting with me. We started at Extreme. I'm trying to think, actually, yeah, that would be a true statement of saying that Ryan was the first person that actually started with me, even before Tim. And I'm going to tell you, as much as me and Tim, the latte out there is crazy. As much as me and Tim over the course of afterwards and the years and all, obviously Ryan had some things to do. Real life comes first. Hey, that's understandable. And Tim stepped in, and it was a great thing, man. And unfortunately, with what happened there with him, but yeah, Ryan, man. And Ryan, as long as his work schedule and all, man, here's to it. He's going to be here, man, next season with us, man, on Monday, and it's a pleasure, man, to have him back. So yeah, the new guy, the new old guy. There you go.
Well, it's a pleasure to be back, and it's nice to come back, and it's unfortunate the circumstances of which that I had to come back. I was very saddened to hear what did happen to Tim. So to be able to come here and call a race with you again, Joe, and to be back on the OSR network is very cool. So I definitely appreciate you giving me a chance to come back and do this with you guys again.
Oh yeah, no way. Love going out there. Oh yeah, no doubt about it, Motor. And look at that, we already got cars spinning down the infield. 78 man's off the pace. That's Ariotti. And again, let me just go ahead and show you.
No caution.
No caution. Yeah, you're right. Oh, he's going to make a caution if he sits there long enough.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah. Well, here's my thing, too. As much as these guys have raced Bristol, they should know they're never going to climb that banking. And he should have known he's never was going to go forward where he was. That car, so backing up was going to be his only choice. But just to give you severity, again, Ariotti, come out of the turn, just looped it and lost it. That guy's no slouch when it comes to driving either. I call him the hitman. I mean, I'm going to tell you, darn good. But it just shows you, man, this track here tonight is just wow. And we just saw out there the comment, Delonte, and I gotta do it, Ryan. It's the season finale. Why not? I'm gonna bring Delonte Ballard up for an interview. Go against my judgment on it. I'm gonna ask him about that incident because, hey, who don't like drama? Let's just go ahead.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Delonte Ballard, Joe White and Boots, got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Joe.
Alright, man. I know you're mad. I know you're disappointed. But, man, What a move, man, that happened to you in the lead. Take us through what you thought happened there.
Are we talking about the wreck, coming to the wreck? Or are we just
Yeah, you're right.
I don't
man.
know.
Yeah.
I heard that it was wrecking. I figured it would have been clear, but Zach stayed to the bottom like normal people would do, and you're coming back onto the track, and then you got Koulibaly just goes straight to the wall. I don't understand why he did that, but yeah, the leaders were coming. He should have knew a sense of awareness of what was going on the track, and I was setting the pick. I couldn't go anywhere. Jake was below me. He was going low, and then I tried to go high, going into 3, and then Koulibaly just slides right up into me. So, I mean, it's just poor thinking on the guy. I just don't understand.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's what we saw out there. I mean, it's unfortunate, man, because 2 nights in a row, you're in the chase hunt here and just disappointment. I mean, it is Bristol. Anything can happen out here. It's just one of these wild style races. But I told Ryder, I said, I got to bring Delonte down. I said, all right, we might as well throw some drama up in here, man. I normally don't do it after a guy wrecking, but hey, why not? Everybody loves excitement. So, you think you still got a car, though, man, that's going to get back to the front?
I still got like 2 minutes worth of damage I got to fix. So I'm just trying to wheel it now because it's kind of loose on throttle and exit. So I'm hoping that the damage would help that out and hopefully get a long run car going.
All right, well, keep the fenders on it, the tires on it the best you can. It's Bristol, man. Good luck out there, Delonte.
Thank you, and I am happy to see Ryan is back.
Yeah, Ryan, man, he's up in here. Heck yeah, man.
Good to see you,
Right.
Delonte. It was unfortunate to see you in the circumstances, man, but it's good to be back, man.
It's good. It's good. And as long as I can hear your voice, I'm cool with it.
Oh,
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right, man. Well, I'll tell you what, we're getting back up there, and kind of what we thought too. Look, it's racing. Emotions run high. We've heard it, and yeah. Especially when a lap down car, gets in the way like that, and you've got so much on the line, especially a title. Man, it's tough, man, when you get knocked out like that.
Yeah, absolutely. We've all been there a little bit every now and again. You lead a race or you're racing for a title, as you mentioned, and something happens that's just out of your control. I've had that happen just trying to make the playoffs last season. In fact, I got wrecked out trying to make it, so I know that pain.
Oh, dude, man, I get wrecked out I don't even get out of pit road. It's what it is. Serious. Well, I tell you what, we're back to green here as they get started and everybody's off. I just got a feeling that low line's where you just need to be all kind of careful at. Everybody's going to try to get single file up top here. Jake is out front, Femi a lot right there behind, and the battle's on behind them. John Feronis, Delonte Ballard, Benjamin Nelson. So those two spun earlier, but back up front. And, yeah, Becky, I haven't done the Plimpy Cam in a while because I've kind of gotten some criticism of, what's the word? I'm trying to be really nice about it is Joe, that's childish. No, but man, it's Blimpy, man. Who don't like Blimpy? I think they're just mad. They're not happy people. I think that's what it is, Ryan.
I'd have to agree with you.
Yeah. I mean, their life's not happy. That's what it is.
They're living a very unfortunate lifestyle.
There you go. Yeah. Well, look at that. Ethan Kurtz, man, spun earlier. He's back up to 9th. He might bounce. That's what I'm talking about this track here. Yeah, you might run into little problems earlier on, but you have time to bounce back. The problem is this guy right here leading. And once he gets to lead, he just has a knack. I still call him the Superman.
Ethan's around. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, okay. Who we got?
Ethan's around, right as we talked about him.
Oh, see, I'll tell you what, I'm going to talk about it, man. Doggone poor Ethan, man. The guy coming out here wanting to race, he just wants to race and have fun. And then, let's see, he just loops it again. Car just goes sideways. Oh, and Ariotti nowhere to go again. Ah, and the 18, looks like he's at the 18, Zach Nichols. Wow.
He almost had it saved too, and the car just still out of control on him is what caused him to come up into the 78, I believe. But that was the first time we've seen anybody get loose on the top like that.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. Didn't see anybody get loose. I don't know, maybe if he just ran out of talent or ran out. I better not say that.
Oh.
No, we're good. But you know what? I thought a caution came out for that, but it didn't. Wow. That's going to put, even more sour grapes on the situation. Wow. No caution from that either.
That's insane. I can't believe that wasn't a caution. We didn't even realize it. I thought the caution had come up for sure. I apologize.
Nah, you're fine. I was back there looking. I showed the replay and all. I'm like you, man. I thought the caution would fly, but sometimes iRacing it, takes a nap. But no, I feel bad for Ethan. Let me tell you what happened to him about a week or two ago. Talladega. The boy had it won. He had it won. Ryan. All right. It supposed to be okay. They had the green-white checkers. Obviously, we have that implemented tonight. Now, that's a cool feature, man, they put in. I like that.
That's an awesome feature.
It is, man. I'm telling you. Well, okay. They did they had a green-white checkered. It was obviously Talladega race. And they came around, they took the white flag, and somehow the caution flew. They might not have, it might be before the green-white checkered. The caution flew. But either way, caution at the end of the race, he was going to win the race. He only had a mile and a half to go, cruising around, and he blinks out, and his computer died on him. I was like, are you kidding me, man? And there he is. I'm going to have to send you the link. He does streaming, too, of his races. And, yeah, he was fist pumping, man, getting excited. The next thing you know, when his thing dips out, then he ends up punching his desk, and it's just funny to watch. But I feel bad for the dude, man. I really do.
Yeah, that's definitely unfortunate for Ethan, and definitely a heartbreaker for sure. And also, while we were talking there, a heartbreaker as well. Delonte Ballard has gone around again, and that Camry is no longer Camry; it's now a modified.
I see that, man. I tell you what, and I'm also watching up here. You were talking about Benjamin Nelson earlier in the race. He was down there on the inside of David Shutt battling with him. He is still trying that low line. The problem I'm seeing, and I'm still kind of curious which part of that car is scraping. Is it the right side part of the splitter or the rear? Because you can see it. It's almost like it is digging into the ground, and you can actually physically see the car when it starts to come out of the turn or middle to out of the turn. It's almost like when it's digging and the sparks start flying, it is almost pulling the car around and kind of yanking it loose. And I was watching that with Benjamin Nelson there for a few.
It looks to me that it's on the right rear, probably before the right rear wheel. Is where
that's
a lot
what
of these
I'm
cars
thinking.
are
Yeah, I can't get a good angle of where I'm at, but I'm with you. That is what it does look like. And if that's true, and I'm going to go ahead and say that that's where it's at, that these cars are bottoming out of that right. Obviously, with that thing bottoming out like that and digging into the concrete here and the track surface, it is going to yank that rear end around. And you can see these guys already manhandling these cars, man, lap after lap.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm riding actually on board with some of these guys. I'm going through the field just on the cockpit cam to see when they're near the bottom or trying to make any kind of a pass, whether it's around a lap car or any kind of maneuver. And you can see how much they're having a saw on the wheel, especially if they even get a little bit too low. Ariati right now is actually a really good indicator of that. As he went through turn 2 last time, he got really loose, and you can just see his hands working to try to make sure that car stays on the high side so that he doesn't get too loose.
Yeah, it's just a handful out here, man. That's what they call it, Bristol. Right now, though, don't want to jinx it. They've been on a pretty good run so far. Want to say, oh yeah, they're doing great out here. Jake Nichols, right now he's looking about one of the most stable out there. But obviously, when you're leading, you don't have anything to worry about. But what's in front of you. He is coming up on some lap traffic. You can just see, and right there, one of the cars. That's what his danger is lap traffic, man. Cars sliding in front of him.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the one thing that Jake, as you mentioned, has to watch out for now is just getting through this lap traffic one at a time and really carefully making sure he's doing the right things and not have what happened to Delonte Ballard happen to him. Just try to catch these lap cars in the right place at the right time.
Absolutely. So right now he's out there. Femi Lot, though, is still holding on to that back bumper a little bit here. Maybe running him down ever so slightly. We're going to have to see Benjamin Nelson. That's a chase contender right there. So your top 3 guys, actually top 4 guys, all chase contenders. So Any one of those guys right there could win this title tonight. Unfortunately, Delonte and Ariati, the other two, not the nights that they're looking for. They're back in 12th and 13th. So the top four, man, it's going to be anybody's ball game.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned it, it's as if it's come to this even in real life as it does on these sims these days, that the top four in the race and in the championship seem to be the top four on the racetrack near the end of the championship season and on the racetrack in real life in the final races. So these guys are running it down right now as we're actually coming to lap 80 right now. So we're about to get the stage caution, I do believe.
Yeah, it is. What happens is they'll take lap 80, they'll go around, and as soon as the 10th place car passes and they finish lap 80, and when the 10th place car comes around, which is Brett Pancari right now, obviously they'll wave the checker flag, but the caution flag for the stage. So they've taken lap 80, they complete it, and the 10th place car. Obviously there would be bonus points during the normal season. You get 10 bonus points for leading it, and then it trickles all the way down a point after that, all the way to 10th. But in this race, there is no bonus points. It's whoever finishes in front of it. There's the caution to end it. Jake Nichols is going to win Stage 1, but like you said, and I was going to say right before we were going to do that, you're talking about the top four guys, just like in real life, being there for the title. Well, hashtag NASCAR fixed. Okay, that's what I got to say.
Hashtag NASCAR fixed. I like that.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? As a Ryan Preece fan with what happened this weekend, yeah, hashtag NASCAR fixed.
Yeah, it's crazy,
Drop
man.
the mic and walk away.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So we'll let Jake do his pit stop here. We'll get a word in with him. Stage, they only have one stage here, so winning the first stage here tonight obviously doesn't really mean a lot like it would in the past because it's bonus points, but tonight's just more like a prestigious thing. Obviously Jake wants to win the race because then he's guaranteed a championship. And man, what sweeter thing? Win the championship in the Xfinity, turn around the next night, win it in the Cup Series.
Yeah, that would be absolutely crazy if he would be able to do that. And I mean, it's not impossible for sure. He's showing the way right now.
All right, let's bring him up here and get a word with him. Jake, Joy in the booth, got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Man, I tell you what, treacherous out there. But now I got to ask, though. The inside lane looks like it's just not really the place to be when you're up underneath somebody. But earlier on, when you was battling with Delonte, take us through what you saw on that instance right there, because I know, Delonte wasn't happy.
Yeah, I was just trying to pass them, and it's so hard to pass with how they changed the speedway, our tire to the speedway tire for this track, and I think it's going to get better as we go because more grip and how we rubber in the track. The bottom was really getting good there toward the end of the run. I was trying to help Delonte and not lap him again, so we slowed down our pace a little bit. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. I saw those guys coming up, and man, I thought we were gonna all wreck. We almost went 4 wide there, but I didn't lift. That was one of the scariest moments of the first 50 laps for me. We had a lot of storms going through toward the start, so I was just hoping that my power wouldn't go out, and they're still around, but I think we should be good, hopefully, in that sense. So hopefully we can just stay out of trouble this whole race. It's gonna be a long one. Last night was really long, and tonight's gonna be the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, it looks a little more treacherous tonight than what it was because the cars bottomed out. Now, man, Ryan, I was talking to Ryan about that last night. I'm kind of confused, and I know you mentioned it last night. Please explain real quick, what do you mean by the super speedway tire?
All right, so considering the speeds we were running with the short track tire on this track, beforehand, for open setup wise, we were almost cracking the 12-second lap times. So to slow us down, they changed our tire to the speedway, like 1.5-mile tire, to lower the grip level, which it did its job in terms of lap times, but in terms of realism, I don't think it really did its job because it just doesn't seem realistic. It's fun, like it's hard, it's really difficult. You really gotta know what you're doing to not wreck the car and be able to control it. But yeah, that's definitely the big difference there.
All right, well, good luck out there, man.
Thank you.
All right, I tell you what, there kind of explained it for us. The iRacing actually changed it in himself and tried to slow the cars down, but in essence, when they did, well, they made it a little bit tougher to drive, which some guys, you know, hey, what all that translates to is, you know, be more patient, slow down with the car, and you're just going to have to drive the thing a lot better. But we're going to have to see right now, Jake Nichols out front. Benjamin Nelson, though, don't count that man out. Look at this, man. Spun earlier in the race. He's up to second. Boy, he's not giving up.
Yeah, absolutely. You look at the front of that 79 car, and it's the definition of what I said earlier about taking a licking and keeping on ticking. That 79 machine's not just looking for second place, he's looking for more. Trying to get to the back end of the 20 at Jake Nichols now, but he's still under pressure from the 11 of Femi a lot behind him, and Femi's also got some pressure coming from behind him from the Nightmare David Shutt, the 42.
Yeah, everybody right now is just nose to tail, just doing what they can as they're single file down the back stretch and everything else. Good run, man, amongst everyone here. Is David Shutt, right like you said there in fourth. At some point, these guys are just going to sit here and go, okay, yeah, we're going to be patient. Looks like the car back there was spinning. Not sure who that was.
That would be the 98 of Tyler Sifford.
Oh, no, Tyler. Get back and watch him. Looks like he was all kind of loose anyways. He was up in the top 10 there. No caution, but I just had to see him. But, yeah, again, caught the bottom, looped it around, and then he's going to go backwards, stop, go forward. He's not in his usual car I'm used to seeing him in. He changed the paint job. I do like that. I might ask him who did that logo on the hood. I might have to get that logo, man. That's cool. I like that. I need to give me a logo like that. He changed up.
Now we've got a caution out.
Oh, who we got?
The number 11 of Femi Owada's around.
Oh, and he was up front. So let's see what happened.
Second.
Okay, we'll see what happened. I mean, right there, he was up underneath. Him and David Shutt battling. Now, something curious, I want you to watch this right here. I don't know if you can, Ryan. Watch Femi's car when it starts to go around. Watch it bounce. That'll show you just how much that thing is bouncing. Watch it as it's sliding sideways. Look at it bounce. I mean, that thing is digging into the I usually say asphalt, but concrete here. I mean, that thing is digging into the track surface.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely was. And Femi's the first one, though, that I've seen. You saw him start to get loose, and he fought that car tooth and nail all the way till it went around, but he never touched the wall, and it didn't spin until it was just on the transition from the track to the apron. So thankfully that number 11 should be fine, and he can still contend for the championship here.
One thing I have praised the new cup package for, and I really think it's exciting to watch and do. I know a lot of drivers don't like it, but the one thing I have praised it for was the control guys have if they go to spin. Normally in the past, spin like that, you're going around instantly. Now it just seems like you've got a lot more control. But obviously when you add on the fact we saw right there, and reason why I wanted to point out what I was seeing with Femi's car was when he was sideways and in normal circumstances, like on a 1.5 mile or any other track maybe than this one, he would probably held on to that thing, kept going. But you notice, like I said, the car just kept like it was digging into and bouncing off the pavement. And after a while, you just can't, man, hold on to it.
No, absolutely not. And it's as we both mentioned there, he's was fighting it all the way until it finally spun. And as you said, that car just kept digging in really badly for him there on the bottom of the track. And it was as soon as he tried to make that pass, that car just would not take it. So it'll be interesting to see. It hasn't happened yet where that bottom line's come in. So I'm beginning to think that it's just the setups for these cars are going to make it incredibly difficult as this race winds down to utilize that bottom groove. And we still have about 150 laps to go. So that's going to be a long time for these guys to have to just ride on that outside and plan how they're going to make that bottom lane work to inevitably have to utilize it and make a pass.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that one. So it's going to be interesting. And from my knowledge, yes, we're on the fixed setup. Now, I do know every once in a while they will have a custom setup, but I think that's normally when they go to like a track It doesn't have one like they race Bathurst here for the Cup cars, and that's a unique race. I don't know if you ever saw it, but obviously I think Bobby Zielinski is the one who actually makes the setup for him for that, and he goes across the board with everybody. But for the most part, I think they do stick with the fixed setup, and it was interesting, like what Jake was talking about with the tires, because I hadn't heard anybody else say that or actually bring that up. So that's some good insight to have, whether nobody else knows about it or whatever. But I didn't know about it. I didn't know the difference between the tires.
Must be one of those things that they teach you on the Peak Antifreeze tour.
Yeah.
It must be it must be one of those very nice features to have when you're in a position like Jake is. And I feel very jealous of him for that.
Well, they deal with a lot of open setups there, man, as we go back green, but they deal with a lot of open setups. So, yeah, tires would be a lot more important of what he's talking about. We're going to see, though, can Jake hold that inside lane, because that's instantly where he went. And I got a feeling his thinking is I got to get around Femi here very quickly, and if I don't, but the best thing Femi can do is fight as hard as he can up top and keep Jake down low, because the longer he can keep him down low, the better he's going to be. But I just don't think he's going to be able to do it, as here comes Benjamin Nelson also down on the inside.
Yes, he is. He's looking down there, and I saw the 79 get loose, and somehow Jake Nichols just never seemed to put a toe out of line in that number 20 Camry. It just held the bottom perfectly all that way, even back to the lead now, and the 11 car actually gets loose on the outside lane of turn 4 that time. But as of right now, the bottom lane is actually looking like it's starting to come in a little bit. Perhaps with the nighttime transition, it's gotten a little bit of grip down there finally.
And it could be, like you said earlier, rubber builds up, the track's going to change, everything's going to change as the nighttime comes into effect here. You can see them being a little bit loose coming off, but I'm not seeing them being loose through the middle of the part of the turn as they were earlier on. So maybe something these guys will actually start to look at, but Benjamin Nelson not giving up. He understands. I think he probably feels last night I was robbed. I came in here leading the points. I had an awesome chase, and Jake took it all away. Congratulations on that. I think tonight, though, it's all there. What's up, Drea? How you doing? Oh, yeah, well, you woke up. Hey, I want you to make me a skull logo that's on the front of Tyler's car like that, man. Look, I like that. That's cool. That's awesome. I need me one of those for my gaming channel. I like playing my shooting game, man. It gets my frustration out there, Ryan. Man, go shoot people.
Wow, okay. I don't think that's exactly how you meant that to come out, but okay.
Ryan's I used to tell Tim that all the time, man. We get done. He's like, what you gonna do now? I'm gonna go shoot some people. What? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna take out my frustration on my game now.
Wow.
Yeah, he was like,
wow, what a save. The 42 of David Shutt. I saw him get loose out of turn 4. He was sideways. He's still sideways.
Oh, it's just like that, man. These guys, it is crazy up there. Stiffer DQ'd you. How'd he DQ you?
There may be an incident limit, and perhaps
could be.
Out.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's an
I'll stay out of
limit
there.
Of 16.
The 16 could be, and you know what? With as much contact out here, very easy to hit those limits. I'm going to tell you. So
yeah, absolutely. That's 4 bumps to somebody's bumper.
yeah. Just let me. I'll get up with you, Drea, man, after the race and whatnot. But yeah. Hey, nice looking, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's one of these things out here. These guys, with as treacherous as it is, man. Crazy to me. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, man. The incidents, man, limit here. I mean, it's easy to hit. I mean, I don't care who you are. It's easy.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a stiff penalty. 16 incident points on a 250 lap race at Bristol. But a lot of these guys are handling it very well. We have had some that have had some misfortune with it, but others, as we've seen, able to overcome. The 20 of Jake Nichols is just perpetually run away. on this particular run so far from the field. He's gapped Benjamin Nelson now by over a second, almost a second and a half. And Benjamin only has about a half a second right now over Femi Olot, who's done a really good job, in fact, staying up there on old tires.
Yeah, track temp is raised to 91. Don't know if that has anything to do with it. I mean, obviously these guys now look like they're becoming a little bit more stable. I mean, not 100%, but obviously getting spread out on the field a little bit here, learning how, okay, what we can and what we can't do on the track. Like you just said, Jake Nichols, though, set and sail. He's out front over Benjamin Nelson, Femi Olot. So the top three all chase drivers right now. Kyle Trudell hanging on to fourth. John Feronis, they're in fifth. David Schutz, the sixth. Ryan Hunt, seventh. Jared Darling, eighth. Bryce Senesac, I always love saying it, the 09 car and the 09 design. He's in 09 spot right now. And Brett Pancari rounds out the top 10.
And right now, the only car that is not in the top 10 is Delonte Ballard. Only car that is not in the top 10 that is still on the lead lap is Delonte Ballard, who got that lap back. And even with that beat-up 21 machine, he's doing a really good job. Right now, rides in front of the 98 of Tyler Sifford, and I believe he's just trying to make it to the end of this race now. At this point, is the 21 of Delonte Ballard.
Yep, no doubt about it. Everybody's just kind of driving, and unfortunately, like you say, got some drivers out. James Coulibaly, Zach Nichols, Bobby Chaney, Matt Kemp, and Morgan Beard all out of the race. Officially, Ethan out there. He is trying to see if we can't get the repairs back. Tyler's 2 laps down. Ariotti 1. Still got 11 cars on the lead lap. And the reason I didn't notice Bryce Senesac out there is because he's changed his paint job up. He's in a Red Bull machine. I'm used to seeing him in that 09 design machine. So but tonight he's flying with some Red Bull.
See, that's unfortunate that you can see that and I can't. For me, Bryce Senesac is in a flat black Toyota Camry with some bright green numbers.
That means that would be the iRacing, or not the iRacing, but the paint glitch. Yeah, and that's kind of what usually when I see an all-black car with just numbers, that's usually what that means. And sometimes what it is, and I know it's crazy, but some people can see it, some people can't. Some people see it as black, some people see the actual paint, and I've had the same thing happen. That's why I always tell these guys, save it in 24, save it in 24. So the full Ryan Hunt almost lost it.
Oh, and now we do have a caution out.
Wait. Don't see where it's at.
I'm trying to find it for you.
Who threw the beer can on the track?
I think it might have just been a competition yellow.
Yeah. Hey, all right, good deal. There we go. Like, we need more of those. But hey, just saying.
I'm looking all over. I can't find nobody.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe somebody threw, man. Look, Ryan. I mean, keep it trash, man, in the booth. 11? Really?
Yes, sir. He did spun in 3, got it sideways, and saved it. He was 90 degrees to the field.
There he is. Yep, I see it. Whoop. Wow. It was able to hold on to it. Crazy. All right. Well, caution out then. Jake's going to take this one. Benjamin Nelson's going to be right there. there's Chemo out there with his crayons. That guy, man, he loves crayons. I got to give you the rundown. Chemo is a crayon freak, Ryan. And Becky, she loves cooking and making cookies. And Drea, she just likes coffee and sleeping.
Well, I was going to say, I recall that Miss Becky Sifford used to make cookies and stuff like that for the boys at the OSRN when we started, and we were not OSRNetwork yet.
Well, I tell you what, Tyler did win a couple weeks ago. First win at SRA. They were very excited. So I had to go to Food Line, and I went and bought me some cookies. There we go. I celebrated myself.
There you go.
Hey,
Lucky man.
I like cookies, man. Cookies and donuts. Come on, hot dogs. Tim used to love coffee and tea, or Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid and coffee. Never seen a man drink so much coffee and Kool-Aid. I mean, it was amazing. I was like, wow.
Coffee and Kool-Aid, huh?
Coffee and Kool-Aid. I'm going to tell
At
you
the
what.
same time, or just throughout the day?
I don't know if it's at the same time, but I tell you what, as many a times in the broadcast he'd go, I'd be like, what are you doing? I'm making me some coffee. And 20 minutes later, what you doing? You drinking on now? Making some Kool-Aid. I don't know. I was like, but I always said, Tim's famous Kool-Aid. Check it out. It's got something in it, man. I said, I'm going to make you $1 million one day, because we're definitely going to get us an infomercial, man, happening, man, about 2 o'clock in the morning. Going to be like them crazy old guys up there, man, talking about it. New and improved.
It'll be like
Tim's
bubblegum.
Aid.
It'll be like bubblegum shrimp.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. Absolutely. Going back to green. Pace cars in. Let's see what Jake's got up. Jake is, and that is smart what Jake's doing. He's starting on the low line. He definitely don't want to get caught there. But he's not wasting no time. He is gone. As soon as that thing, man, waves the green flag or the pace car drops off, he's gone. He knows he's got to get out front. If not, man, Benjamin gets man right there or stays beside him, and Benjamin's not going to be easy on him. So he's got to get out front.
Yeah, absolutely. And as the race winds down, you have to figure if the bottom doesn't work, you and I both know how Bristol kind of works. If you can't make a pass somewhere, eventually you're going to find a way around somebody. And for the championship, you'd have to think if the 79 doesn't spin in second beforehand, as Benjamin Nelson makes a great save again, if he can ever get to the back end of Jake Nichols, if he can't make that move on the bottom, he's going to find a way around that 20 car to try to win this championship.
Man, on a crazy move right now, it's got to be the man in the 11 Femi a lot. He just took it 3 wide right there with David Shutt and John Ferronis. I mean, he is bad fast on that low line. He's not scared. He sent that thing in there.
Yeah, absolutely. He's driving the wheels slap off that car right now, trying to get back to the front after that spin last time. And I'm looking through the field a little bit, just trying to get an idea of some of these guys who have kind of come through the field. Looking right now at the 82 of John Furnace, started 13th. He's up to 3rd. He's just had a consistent night. Not a scratch on that 82 right now.
Could be the wild card here if he could just figure out how to get around this place. As you see Benjamin there, but I don't know. You know, I know we talk about him, or I talk about him a lot. You know, I've been yelled at it before about it, but you know, Jake, I mean, come on, the man's out front. Once he gets out front, see, here's what I've said before. I've told guys, and what I've noticed throughout, you know, many races is, once you let him out front, he races his own race. And that's going to be any driver, obviously. But once he gets out front, he races his own race. And he kind of sets sails as John Ferronis is around.
Commentator Jinx?
Yeah, I guess so, man. I was just sitting here actually just watching him. I was commenting, and you were saying, man, he was clean. Well, and you know what's funny, though? He was on the high line. And again, just like Ethan, lost it coming out of the turn, that's typical Bristol right there. I'm used to seeing you come out of the turns, you overdrive the turn, or you can overdrive the turn, and by overdriving the turn, that thing just come out from under you. That's what that looked like. It's not what we've been seeing earlier on with the low line, them things just bottomed out. Because actually now, I don't know if you've noticed this, Ryan. Don't know if maybe it's just the tire pressures have come up, or maybe the temps, like you said, are changing. But I'm noticing these cars are not bottoming out like they were at the beginning.
Yeah, I'm noticing they're not quite bottoming it out anymore, but they appear to be pretty loose everywhere else. The one of Jared Darling right now, I'm riding on board with him. He just got loose at random through what appeared to be 3 and 4. The 79's been having some problems up in second. Even on the high side, we saw what happened there as well to the 82. So it's getting interesting out here. This track has changed. It went from being loose on the bottom to loose everywhere, but I don't see them bottoming out as much as they were before.
Yeah. Now, and like I said, we was talking about it earlier because right there I'm watching Femi a lot. He went through the whole entire turn and that thing did not one time bottom out. Didn't see sparks at all coming. So, it's amazing. Now Benjamin's way down the bottom. But it is amazing how realistic iRacing has brought this thing here. I tell you, man, yeah, the famous broadcaster curse, that's what we always call it. It's amazing how realistic. Now Benjamin's way low, and you see him down there, man, just plowing into the surface. But it's curious of why he went low like that. And, boy, I tell you, it's a fight for second.
Oh, and they're wrecking for second.
Ouch. Wow.
Oh, boy.
Temper's going to flare on that one. But let's see what I mean. In all fairness, Benjamin was way loose coming out of the turn. I mean, he came out of the turn. He drove up the track there. Unfortunately, when he drove up the track, Femi had nowhere to go. And just kind of looks like just got in the back of him. But Benjamin's running that low line for some reason the last several laps. I don't know why he would have been down that low. We've already talked about it, but you just saw him right there. That thing just shot up the track. And then Femi did kind of get the rear end of him there a little bit, so,
Yeah, it looked to me like maybe the 79 was trying something different, trying to catch Jake Nichols, maybe trying to dime in the corner a little bit, and it just didn't work in the way he wanted to. And on that particular occasion, once again the car got loose on him coming out of the corner. He drifted all the way up the track to try to save it, and when he did, the 11 went to his inside, and because he had to make an evasive move to get around, that the driver that got into the outside wall there, I'd say that's what caused them to get back together by the time they got to turn 3.
All right. Bring up Ben here. Benjamin, Joey in the booth, got a copy?
Yeah.
Well, car looks good. How you feeling?
Awful. I can't drive this.
It looks bad. I mean, it really, for not just for you, but a lot of people out there. I mean, this is the worst I've kind of seen it. It's exciting for us. Don't get us wrong, man, to watch. But man, it looks like it's a nightmare for you guys out there. What do you think the problem is? Is it just because it's digging into the ground, or what?
Well, the tire is the wrong tire for this kind of track. It's a 1.5 mile tire, so that doesn't help. Also, yeah, it's digging into the ground really hard everywhere. So it's not good all around. It's just bad.
Yeah, I hear that. Well, you can keep fighting. Hopefully get back up there. Still got some time, man. I know you're running for the championship. Jake's, man, like he's on rails up there. But a contact there. You got out of shape a little bit. Femi got in the back end of you. Try not to smack him around too much, okay?
Yeah, I'm trying not to wreck myself, honestly.
Hey, doing a good job. Doing a lot better than I could. I'd have done had that thing looped around about 10 times. I've seen you out there dirt tracking it, but hey, good luck out there, Ben.
Thanks.
All right, I'll tell you what. It's just, you can hear the frustration in his voice. He's got his hands full, and we can see it on the track, right? I mean, lap after lap, that car is just wicked loose. And what do you do? I mean, there's nothing you can do. There's really nothing you can do.
Yeah, it's really one of those things, like they've said, it's just they're running on a fixed setup where iRacing has set it in a particular way, and because of the way the cars are riding on the ground right now, it's what's really causing the looseness, because as we've mentioned, the right side is bouncing, I believe, I believe the right side of the car is catching right in front of the right rear wheel, causing that right rear wheel to bounce, especially on the transition coming out of the corners, and that's what's spinning the cars around. So really what the car needs is a ride height adjustment, and these guys would be okay. But, unfortunately, with a fixed setup, that's not something these guys can do right now. So they're just going to have to battle it out and see what they can do here with now just under 100 laps to go.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see as pace cars in. We're back green flag. Jake gets another great jump on the field, and that is what he's wanting. Definitely does not want anybody sparks are flying. I mean, definitely. Well, we're close to 4th of July, and these guys, man, are getting geared up early.
Yeah, absolutely. They've had sparks flying ever since practice here in Bristol, but some more will be flying by the end of the night, the way things are going. And as we've already seen, had a couple of tempers flaring and stuff like that a little bit, and I think we'll have a little bit more of that before this night's out. There's still a lot of racing still to be had here, as we've mentioned, just under 100 laps to go, and let's not forget, Jake Nichols, Femi Olot up there racing first and second for the championship, and they've been up there this entire race. They've really been the class of the field.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You know, and Femi, he's not going to give up. Last night, he had a very fast car. He was right there toe-to-toe with Jake. Actually had to lead there in time for the little mishap, though, of what happened. Back behind him, Jared Darling and company. You got Kyle Trudell, Bryce Senesac, David Shutt right there. Boy, they're going to think about 3 wide. Who knows? The moment, though, y'all stay single file.
And we have another caution out. It is the 82.
John Ferronis, boy, not the night he's looking for. Just spun earlier on. See what happened here for him again. Watching the replay. Got a fin. Yeah, it just came out of the turn, lost it, looped it again. That thing just, swoop, boom. Now he's got a pure modified. Wow. Well, there's one thing about it. With the cautions, they definitely ain't got to worry about tires.
No, that's for sure. These guys have definitely been able to make enough pit stops for tires and fuel all night long, and been able to keep some of these cars up there. I'm looking at one of these cars we talked about, a modified. Ryan Hunt was running in third in that 48 machine, and I don't know if it's the same way for you, but he has no front clip for me, and therefore is running a modified.
That's it, and was doing pretty good, like you said, man. Up there running third. I mean, hey, well, that just goes to show you. I mean, it's obviously, and look at this. David Shutt won the battle off pit road because he took 2 tires. And Tyler Sifford, though, looks like, yeah, well, I was fixing to say he was out there, but, wow. And, yeah, you might want to delete that comment there, mister. So, yeah, we don't do all that. Appreciate it. But David Shutt winning it off. Now, he took 2 tires now. All right, let's think about this for a minute, Ryan, because here's my logic on that. 2 tires, you have a tight car. Obviously, 2 tires usually loosen it up. So if you want it looser, throw 2 tires on it. In this point, though, or in this race, is it going to benefit him to have 2 tires? Now, obviously, if he gets another quick caution, it might. But what do you feel about that move?
It's hard to say right now. These cars are so loose that it might tighten it up a little bit. I'm not sure exactly how many laps David Shutt had run on that last stint before he just decided to come in and do that. But
wasn't very many. I think it was about 14. I think it was something in that area.
Yeah, I was going to say, that didn't seem like a whole heck of a lot. So I feel like 2-tire change for him could work, especially if he can maintain the track position with the cautions that we've had with the way these cars are handling. I feel like if the 42 could stay up front and keep Jake Nichols at bay, that would be a benefit to him. But one important thing to remember is that the 42 does appear to have a little bit of front-end damage, and I don't believe the 20 of Jake Nichols has put a foot wrong all night long thus far, so it is going to be very difficult, even on the 2 tires, to hold back that number 20, I do believe, for David Shutt. But he's the right man for the job.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, then he's got to look at Femi a lot back there. Femi actually, you know, I guess what he's probably thinking is hopefully Femi will get up there and battle with Jake and keep him off of him. Track position could play a factor here. We're just going to have to see. As far as the damage on David, I don't think it's severe enough to hinder him just because of what I saw last night from Jake. Jake had damage on his front. Several other cars did too. Didn't look like it hindered him. Hey, but you never know. Actually, I was kind of like, thought myself, well, you hit the wall, made you faster. Hey, go figure, man. It was a lot of that. But let's see what happens here. David Shutt did the same thing. He got a good start on the green flag. And, you got to remember there, Mr. So, I see you comment before you delete it because it holds it for review. So, I saw it before you deleted it. Anyways, we're going to see, man, if Jake can take that spot away.
Yeah, absolutely. He's looking to the inside. A big move to the inside of the 42 of David Shutt. Yeah, it was a strong run from the 20 of Jake Nichols on the bottom that time. But right here is where it's been close all night long. And it's just so strange. The 20 of Jake Nichols is just so smooth. He's the only car that I've seen all night long, Joe, that can run the bottom like that and knock it loose, especially through turn 3.
You know, and here's the thing, but you've also seen he is still having trouble getting around David Shutt. If David can hold that high lane to where, and I just don't think he's going to be able to where Jake, you know, can't slide up. That's going to be the thing. Now, I think he's going to be able to clear him this time coming out of the turn. Maybe. No, he's still not going to be able to. And as long as Jake can't get around him, but I think he's going to get him that time because, man, David kind of pushed up the track there. As long as you keep him pinned down, yeah, he can't make that pass. I mean, but you're right. He's been pretty stable, pretty solid, man, throughout. It's just the smooth. I mean, I've always said it. I wish I was that smooth behind the wheel. Caution.
Yes, sir. We got the 37 around.
37. And Brett Poncari. See what happened to him here. Out by himself, because I got a feeling it's just typical. Well, wait a minute. That's actually another car that was around. That's actually Ariati that was around. 78.
My bad. I saw the 37
right.
spinning. I never saw the 78.
Maybe 37 spun right after he did. Yeah, Ariati came out the turn, destroys the front end of that car. He's done. But then let's go on the 37. Oh, okay. The very next turn, the 37 spun. Maybe he was trying to get woed down, and boom. So kind of 2 incidents at one time. But unfortunately, Ariati, not the night he wants. Now, this here will benefit David Shutt. He would have loved to have held off Jake long enough. But my thing is all right, you just put 2 tires on the one side. Why wouldn't you just go ahead and put the other 2 tires on the other side and be done with it instead of doing a 4-tire stop? You know what I mean? You only had a couple laps. I mean, unless they're thinking those tires are that important, you know?
Oh, absolutely. I agree. I believe that only having a couple laps like that should be fine for him. In fact, that certainly helped him out because he's been able to maintain that track position. Now he was able to come in, get those tires changed, and now, rather than being back where he was before that last cycle of pit stops, he's now been able to ride up in third.
And then that was the thing. He did take 4. Now, Femi a lot this time took 2. It's going to be interesting to see. I just look at David's move, and obviously I'm not going to sit here and question it, but he was only out there on a couple laps, man, on the one side of tires. Why not just take the other ones that would have been out there the longer? Then they kind of would have evened each other off. He definitely probably would have came out. I don't know if he'd have came out with the lead with Femi doing 2 tires, but he might have. And here's the thing, that would have put Jake way back in third. And you put him way back into the pack, I think it's going to make it even harder. At some point, I think that might be the thing. I've always said it. Take Jake out of his comfort zone, okay? Take him out of what he knows what to do and make him do something different and race him that way. And I think then you're going to see it. But if you constantly are letting him just race his own race, I'm going to say 8 to 9 times out of 10 he's going to beat you.
Yeah, absolutely. He's it's just crazy how good he is when it comes down to the closing stages of the races and closing them out and being able to cap off the runs that he has.
Absolutely. So here we go. See what we got going on here is we'll see if Femi has the same luck that David Shutt did. We'll just have to see, man. But I say here now, if David can get around Jake, maybe get him back there behind several different cars, maybe make him force him to where he has to do something different and come through the field, might see something kind of different here. As we already see it. Look at David did get a good jump that time. If he can clear him going into the turn, we'll just have to see what'll happen. Right now though, Femi Alot's the man out front.
Yes, he is, and Jake's going to get that preferred high line right away, and Femi's going to have to come up and slam the door on him now as they come by the start-finish line. David Shutt riding third, trying to get up there, and Jake showing no fear, going right to the bottom. He's the only guy, again, that I keep saying, he's the only one that's fearless enough to just go down there and put that car on the bottom, and he's the only one that can make that move down there. That's why I believe Jake has led so much of this race. That 20 car for him is just handling so well.
So well, right now it is. I mean, you know, if we get a long ring run here, we'll have to see. But right now, he still understands, though, he has to be smooth doing it. He can't just go down there barreling off into the turn. You see him right now. That's why it takes him so long to make the pass down low on someone. Now, what Femi can do, as long as Femi does not overdrive the top lane, he can keep Jake pressured down there, down low. And I got a feeling, and we have not seen this, though, so it's just kind of just an assumption, that if he keeps him down low long enough, that eventually Jake's tires is not going to be able to hold up on that inside lane. But that's all going to be beneficial of if Femi can hold that high lane right now, and he's doing a pretty good job of it.
Yeah, I completely agree. I was actually going to make that assessment myself if you didn't beat me to it like that. If the 20 is able, or if the 20 is unable to get... Oh, he's around off the front of the 42!
And they just went in there 3 wide. And I'm going to tell you what, Jake Nichols got hit and spun. Let's go back. But I tell you what, that's pretty much what I was talking about. Man, look, you got the fastest guy out there, Jake. But he was also starting to fade off a little bit. You saw Femi was running such a good line up top. Jake couldn't get it, get that bite that he needed. You just started seeing it. David was pushing. But then all of a sudden, David Shutt changed lanes, went down low, had a run coming off the turn, went 3 wide. Obviously not the best thing in the world to do. And yeah, a little net code, I'm going to say, in between them. But obviously, man, door to door, I mean, that really was a door-to-door hit. So, to me, that's just a racing deal between the two. Obviously, Jake's going to be upset over it. But, they were side by side, Ryan, and I'm a firm believer. You side by side with somebody, man, hey, look, and you're sitting there dooring each other or trading paint. Man, that's just racing to me. I mean, it's different than running a guy over.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that was purely a racing deal. And it was, as we were talking about, the 20 car had spent so much time on the bottom that his car no longer would turn. And as you said, the 42 of David Shutt got a huge run, pushed it 3 wide, thought probably that the 20 of Jake Nichols would have let up. Maybe Jake didn't know that the 42 was there, and by the time he did, they all went to the corner, just touched doors, and that sent the 20 around.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, I call him the Nightmare. Maybe just scared Superman out the sky right there, I tell you. So, Femi Alott right now is the man on point. He is running for a championship, but so is David Shutt. And here's the name. It's a championship. I get it. These guys, man, you're going to do anything for the title. And coming down to the closing laps, that's just the way it is. I mean, it is short track racing. I love beating and banging. I know tempers flare. I know guys get mad. That kind of beating and banging, I don't mind. Obviously, a guy going up just running it into the turn and your right rear corner or right into your back end, shoving you into the walls, that's different. But side by side, hard racing, you door together each other or trade paint. Hey, man, I love it. That's the old school side of me there.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's what makes Bristol Bristol. It's why people watch these races. They go to them. They like to see the contact. They like to see the tempers flare, the excitement, and all that kind of stuff. So we're definitely getting our fair share of it tonight here for sure. And we keep talking about it, though. This championship is getting down to the wire here. We're going to have just over 60 laps to go when we get the restart. But I do want to just point out one little thing. One guy sneaking his way back into this thing is Delonte Ballard, running in 6th. He's still got a lot of damage to the 21, but I mean, these guys up front have spent so much time racing each other that perhaps the 21 will eventually just be able to keep pace with them once again.
And you're right, because that's just Bristol. Anything can happen here, and the championship picture is starting to close here and take form. Who's it going to be? Don't count Jake out. He's not done. I mean, he didn't really hit anything on that, just kind of spun. He's back up here. He definitely could get it done. Unfortunately, Benjamin Nelson's done tonight. Ariadne's done, 2 of them. But Femi gets a good jump out there. Here we go. David Shutt right behind him. So we're going to have to see what these guys will do on this restart. And how aggressive will Jake be trying to come through the field now?
He's going to have to be aggressive. Unfortunately, with only 60 laps to go, he's going to have to make use of what he found earlier with that 20 machine. I just don't know how confident he's going to be in it now that he's had that incident. And this is the first time, as you just mentioned, that we've seen Jake back in traffic all night long. So he's going to have to really, really feel out that number 20 machine and make sure it's okay before he just ascends trying to get back to the lead if he wants to win this championship.
Just noticed right there, too, man, just speaking on him, because Femi right now is going to have trouble with David Shutt up front, but I'm watching back here with Delonte Ballard and him. First time, too, there, you were talking all night long how stable the 20 of Jake was. Well, back in traffic, guess what? That car's not so stable, so that might be the recipe right there for disaster of what these guys were feeling all night long, that Jake has not been feeling. He's been out front. And, again, when you're out front a lot, you starting to get into a comfort zone. And, then when you get marred back in traffic, well, guess what? That comfort zone's kind of gone. Now, I won't take anything away. Jake's one of the best out there. He definitely knows how to drive it. But so is Femi, man. He's very good. David Shutt and company up front. It's going to be interesting to see if they can hang on to it. As laps are winding down, David's going for the lead, and he's not scared.
Ooh, and he got really loose, but he held on to it.
Like a Bronco bull out there, man, driving these things. Now, the one thing he might want to look at, I know he's battling with Ryan Hunt right there. He'd love to get around it, but Jake's going to be looking like, okay, I'm not going to give you any room if you can't make it around Ryan. He does slide up high. Here comes Jake down low. We'll see if he's going to be able to get it. I think we're going to be back with another 3 to 4 car battle here pretty soon. You just saw, that's the first time right there. You saw Jake come out of the turn there, Ryan, sideways.
Yeah, absolutely. He's driving the wheels off the 20 car. He got loose again. He's trying everything he can to get back to the front right now. And looking at the front, the 11 car's got some pressure. He's getting loose out of the corner there. Femi did coming out of turn 4, and the 1 car of Jared Darling putting all kinds of pressure on Femi up front now.
I know Femi's probably going, man, leave me alone. I'm for a title hunt up here. Jared, you ain't got nothing to race for. Jared does. He wants to win the race. He said, I don't care about your title, man. He said, look, you can win that in second place. I want to win. So, car around, Ryan Hunt.
Yes, sir. Ryan Hunt went around, and I do not believe the caution is going to fly just yet.
Nope. Let's see what happened. I think he just kind of looped it right there. Jake's probably breathing a sigh of release because it's right in front of them. Wow. Let's see here. Yeah, he just looped it. Coming out of the turn, Jake's like, whew, get out the way just in time on that one. But yeah, up front, battle for the lead. Jared's right there. David Shutt's right there. Here comes Jake back into the mix. I got a feeling, though, you mentioned it earlier, Ryan. Jake looked like one of the most stable cars. It don't look like that now, marred in traffic. So that bears the question. Is out front worth the risk for 2 tires? Maybe we found our answer. Being out front, the track position might be where it's at, because everybody that's been behind the leaders, they've just gotten all kinds of loose.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to agree with that. And the only other difference that I've seen with Jake Nichols over anybody else in this field is he's the only one that's been able to get it out in front and get up to a substantial lead of any kind and hold it for a while. Everybody else has just kind of stayed together with the pack. So Femi right now probably wanting to get away from the 42 of David Shutt, but we saw Jared Darling get up there and race for the lead for a couple of laps, and he is now falling all the way back to the 4th position as David is looking to the inside of Femi as they go through 1 and 2, and Jake is going to come down the back straightaway now and try to make a move to the outside on the outside of David Shutt, and they're all 3 going to be single file again now as they complete another lap here. Under 50 laps to go here.
Well, Jake is on a mission. We have seen him come back up to the front there. He dives it on the inside, got loose. You know he's driving that thing hard right now. David understands, man, what it is. Now, Femi does look pretty calm up there, so we'll have to see what happens if, unlike David looks like that car's pushing a little bit in the turns. It's wanting to drift way up high in the track, which is allowing Jake to get down low. The problem is you seeing now, this first time, whoa, shut came out of the turn all kinds of wicked loose, but you're seeing the first time Jake right there, Ryan. Not, oh man, I tell you what, well, that's one way of getting around him.
Yeah, absolutely. The 42 was loose all the way through the last set of corners we had there, and that allowed the 20 of Jake Nichols and Jared Darling to both get around him, and that's what Jake wanted. He wanted that clean racetrack, so now he can be on the top side and just try to run down Femi a lot. Femi is going to be praying that these next 42 laps fly by for him, though. He needs them to start winding down quickly.
Right now, you just stated it, what's going through the mind of Femi. What is going to happen here? What is he actually got to be thinking about of like, what we got? Well, while we got this exciting racing going on, they yelled about it. Why not? It's a good track to do it on. Let's go high and wide. We'll slap out the Blimpy cam. Everybody likes Blimpy. Ryan, like Blimpy?
I'm always down for the Blimpy camera.
Man, look, I tell you what, it gives you good visual of the track and the facility here and just how far apart the guys are, which not too far right now. And I always love throwing out the challenge. Now, look, man, Ryan, I know you're in the retail side of things, so you're going to get, you'll get this, man. But imagine somebody coming in late night, man, and yelling, running up down your aisles, yelling Blimpy, okay? All right. Either one or two things, and a couple things might happen. Either you're going to call security, man, wonder what in the world's wrong with that person, or you're just going to laugh, one or the other. But please record that if you see it, put it on social media, because I'd love to do it. And there's your Blimpy challenge. We got a battle for the lead.
Oh boy, is that the actual challenge for me?
Yeah, go ahead, do it, man. Is that what you
just threw out to me?
Go ahead,
Is this like
man.
an ice bucket challenge kind of a thing?
Yeah,
oh,
yeah. I threw one out to Ethan
God.
one time. I forgot what I told. Oh, I told him. I think I told him a challenge one day, and I said, if you never make it back on another broadcast, I know you accepted it. I said, why don't you go down to your mom when she's cooking you up a meal and tap her on the shoulder and say, "Hello, Blimpy, you're looking lovely tonight." And if she smacks you with a rolling pin, it's not my fault, okay? I'm just saying. Battle up front for the lead. Jake Nichols on the inside. Femi a lot has looked smooth up high, and I think that is what nobody, we've talked about Jake looking smooth down low, but we've not seen too many people look as smooth as Femi has up top either. He has actually been able to, and look, he's holding Jake off because, well, all night long, nobody has been able to muscle that low line all night long.
Yeah, absolutely. Jake's the only one, again, that we've really been able to see make a lot of moves on the bottom. It's what he's basically had to do to get through the field this time, and he's looking to do it again right here as he looks to the inside of Femi a lot now as they go through turn 3. Femi, though, as you said, very smooth on the outside of the racetrack, able to hold the outside line and maintain the lead there for at least for now. They're coming to 30 laps to go and about the next couple laps here. And I just want to point out one thing. Jared Darling, and I jinxed this earlier, and I'm really hoping that it doesn't happen again, but John Furness in the 82 earlier had no damage to that car, and he was running up front. And ever since the 11 and the 20 have received some damage, the one car of Jared Darling has pulled back into this race. So it makes you wonder if not having any damage on that one machine is going to pay him dividends here as we come down to 30 laps to go.
And it'd also love to see those two get into each other up there, and he could just go shoot right on by at the right time. We've seen that many a times. Well, I'm kind of giddy, Ryan, because the Cup car and my history, obviously, what is Femi driving and what is leading. So, and I'm kind of jumping up and down.
I know you are. Makes you wonder how fond you are of my car that I sent you.
That's right. My Mustangs. Man, come on, man. I was like all excited, man. Yeah. Woo. Yeah. I'm a Mustang fanatic. But I just love Cup cars in general, though. I just think they're the coolest thing. But I'm telling you right now, if Femi a lot can stay his composure and stay where he's at right now, and if there is, here's another key thing here, Ryan. If there is a caution, obviously they're coming in for tires. That pit stop will be crucial because Jake's going to have the number one pit stall. Femi will not. And here's the thing. I think Jake would beat him off pit road. And if that happens, you might as well pretty much, I don't mean to say it this way, but hand the race to Jake, because I think at the pit stop, if that happens like that, will be the game changer.
Yeah, absolutely. Femi would have to do something to change it up to make it so that he could beat out the 20, and it would be almost impossible to do from the second pit stall when Jake's in the first, having no momentum built up or any way to prevent the 20 from potentially just leaping across or inching his way across that commitment or the exit line rather to the pit lane for the timing loop. So, but we are just about 20 laps to go now, and the 11 of Femi Olad is still leading. We keep seeing Jake try to make that move to the bottom, and every time he does, it draws the 1 of Jared Garland closer, and these three will get nose to tail. And I think Jake becomes afraid to make that move on the bottom because he doesn't want to let Jared get around him, knowing that if all three of them get grouped together like that, Jared may have something still for Femi as well.
And it could, bring up David Shutt, who is back there in the back. Dre, I still see the meters running. I'm not sure about what talking about the audio went out. Not 100% sure on there, unless it's just a blink on YouTube's part. Maybe let's try a real quick refresh. But you're right on that, Ryan, because you see every time, man, Jake goes down low to try to get up underneath Femi. He has to battle up there, and now he's going to have to eventually probably contest with Jared. Jared's just sitting right there, and this is what Femi wants to see. Absolutely, Jared going the inside of the 20. Keep him off of me because, hey, we only got 20 laps to go. That's going to go by quick here on this short track. I mean, and after, those tires eventually just are going to give up.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys are they're using everything up right now. They are. And the 20 car of Jake Nichols, in my opinion, has probably used up his stuff even a little bit more than Femi has, just because he's had to run the bottom, been trying to make moves on him. The 1 car of Jared Garland doing the same thing, going even lower than the both of them right now. But it is coming down to it. We are under 20 to go, and as you mentioned, that flies by here at Bristol. So these guys understand this is it. This is for the championship. This is every single thing that you've raced every lap for this entire season, at possible 5 minutes to try to win the title.
And I'm going to tell you what, the 2 guys right now, 1 and 2, this is for the championship. It's whoever finishes in front of whoever. Femi Olad wants it. Jake Nichols is right there to try to take it. If he can, he'll have an exceptional thing. He won the Xfinity title, but right now, Femi Olad leading this race has. And it is an exceptional battle with them two as they go side by side once again. Jake is trying every maneuver he possibly can, and he's probably shaking his head right going, man, it's not working like it did early on. I have no clue what's happening, but I also have got this one breathing down my back deck lid. If I make one slip up, he's going to be there, and all hopes of a championship is going to be gone.
Yeah, absolutely. And you talk about he's trying to think of every move he can make. There's one move he hasn't made yet, and I don't know if he will, but Jake has to have it in the back of his mind here, especially at Bristol, and I think you know what move I'm thinking of.
Yeah, bump and run. We call it the hit and run. We was talking about that the other night, Ryan. I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but a guy said, man, look, sounds like a first date. I said, what, hit and run? I said, man, is that what we're talking about? He said, dang, Joe, man, what's wrong with you?
Wow. There's been a lot of wow moments.
T-shirts. I said, wouldn't that be like maybe like the second, third, maybe fourth date or something like that? I said, with that T-shirt material, hit and run. I mean, I don't know.
Wow, that's hilarious.
It was. We had a field day, but right now Jake is not giving up, but you're starting to see Femi get a little bit loose. And the car doesn't look as stable. The problem is, how stable is Jake down low? And again, he just does not have that bite down low. He's trying it, and the reason he keeps stepping down there, people might go, well, why does he keep stepping down on the inside if he knows he can't make that pass? And that's just the hope that Femi makes a mistake and pushes up the track and he can just get on around him, because if he gets around him, he can run his own race right now. The problem is, you just saw right there, the 1 car Jared. Jake got a little bit loose, boom. Next thing you know, Jared's right up underneath him.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're coming to 7 laps to go. This time and Jake's pressing really hard to the outside of the 11 now. Ooh. Wow.
Yeah, he is up against the wall. He bumps the wall that time, and he came off the turn sideways. Boy, you know he is trying everything, folks. This is a battle for the championship. Jake Nichols is doing what he needs to do. Femi a lot, though. He's starting to look like I've said before, the doomsday out here for Jake Nichols and holding off the Superman as we're going to come to 5 laps left to put this season into a close for the SimSpeedShop.com SRA. Man, it has been a fight up front between these two cars.
Yeah, absolutely. It's still a boxing match as well. These two going back and forth with each other, bumper to bumper. The 20's not giving up. We're now just 4 to go this time. The 11 of Femi Olot knows he's just doing everything right. And I think if he can stay up top, it's going to take a big move by Jake to make the bottom work. And I don't know that Jake's going to have the grip to make that move when he goes to do it without trying to knock the 11 out of his way first.
You know what, I'm noticing something here. I think he is scaring Femi a lot to go way, way high and maybe push him up there and maybe lose momentum because of what Jake did earlier. So this might be a sucker move by Jake right now to try to get Femi a lot to do something different, because if he gets too high, gets into the wall, he's going to lose all kinds of momentum. Now, could be dangerous on Jake's part because you see Jared Darling right there. Man, this is close.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 laps to go this time by. They're side by side at the line.
Ooh, coming down to the line. This right here, man, is a crucial battle to see who's going to win the title here. Jake Nichols, he has dominated most of the race, but Femi Olot has led 82 of it. He's not let the stranglehold go. Can he pull off a championship? White flag one more time. Ryan, we're going to crown it here. One more turn. Jake sends it. Blocked by Femi. Bump and run. You got to be kidding me. He did it. Jake Nichols bumped him out of the way.
But Jared Darling's going to win the race.
Oh, yes, he is. Let's go back. Jake is going to win the championship. But in a last lap bump and run, he did put the bumper to Femi, but Jared Darling is going to win this race. David Shutt the third. Wow, what a battle. And I know Femi Olot is probably going to be furious. But you know what? It's Bristol, baby. Hey, it's just like pork chops. Lick your wounds and lick your fingers and keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. What a battle all the way to the end. Jake Nichols will win the championship as of right now, based on what we've seen on the racetrack. But how about Jared Darling, though? We kept talking about him. He started 16th, waited and waited and waited for the front two to make a mistake, and in the last corner on the last lap, he didn't even lead a lap in this race, I don't believe, until it counted in the last, 400 feet. And Jared Darling is going to steal the win in Bristol, while Jake Nichols is going to bring home the championship.
Man, I tell you what, that was a duel at Bristol. I mean, seriously, these guys, I mean, my hat's off to Jared. He was patient, waited, and I even spoke about it. If he was right there at the right time, the right place. But man, hey, I'm not faulting Jake. I'm going to tell you, it's Bristol. The bump and run plays a factor here all the time. And that's probably the only way he knew he was going to get around him. He put the bump and run on him. And anybody that don't like that kind of racing, well, I don't know what to tell you. That was exciting to watch. Wow. I mean, just wow.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a barn burner all the way down to the end, and neither one of them, they left it all out on the track, that's for sure. They battled tooth and nail that whole time, and it came down to it. We kept thinking that the patented Bristol move, the bump and run, might come into effect, and sure enough, it reared its head right when we thought it would as well.
Man, I'm going to tell you what, I'm bringing up David Shutt. I'll let you get a word in with him, man. That was just exhilarating to watch. Here you go.
David Shutt, this is Ryan Daniels up in the OSRNetwork booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I do, Ryan.
Well, man, you had a good race tonight. I know you were looking for a little bit more from the 42 machine there after starting in the second spot, but we saw you up front. You led a lot of this race, and to come home third with that little bit of front-end damage has to feel pretty decent after a long night in Bristol.
Yeah, that was a long race. I wasn't very good at that track. Not a fan of it. Right towards the end there, I made a 3-wide move, and I guess there was some net code. At least that's what I was told. Yeah, right there, I just wore my stuff up trying to get past Femi. It's really hard to pass here without hitting somebody. So it is what it is. Glad the season's over. Ready to go on to the next one.
All right. Well, we appreciate you taking the time to come up here and talking with us. Congrats again on the third place run. And is there anybody out there you want to thank?
Yep, everybody for coming out this season. You guys for broadcasting. Shout out to Jake Nichols on the win. He's definitely fast, so it's definitely not an undeserving win for sure. So yeah, shout out to him. Thanks Bobby Cheney and Delant and Gable for all their admin duties throughout the season. And I hope everybody comes back for the next one.
All right. Well, once again, thank you for coming up here and talking with us, and we hope you have a great evening.
Thanks, guys.
I'll tell you what, calling the nightmare there, man, David Shutt, and boy, he definitely, man, had a night that was awesome there. Well, I'm going to bring up here the winner. I'll let you talk to him here, man, Jared Darling, because, yeah, I just want to hear the excitement in this guy's voice because, wow, sitting there, watching what was transpiring in front of him, and then boom, winning the race. I'm going to bring him up here and let you get a word with him.
Jared Darling, this is Ryan Daniels up in the OSRNetwork booth. Do you have a copy?
I do.
Well, Jared, you started 16th tonight. We talked about you late in the race, talking about how you were hanging right there with Jake Nichols and the 11 of Femi a lot. Did you think that you had a chance to win the race, and did you imagine it playing out the way that it did for you when you came through turn 4 on the last lap?
Well, to be honest, I was in such a weird position, I felt like, because I knew they were racing for a championship, and I'm part-time over here, so I'll be honest, that whole last, 20, 30, 40 laps, I kind of was just riding there in third, letting them race, because, they're racing for a title. I feel like I was faster than them at the end, the whole end there. I was just kind of riding there, and I really was expecting, I was like, I'm just going to ride here in third, and maybe they'll get together, and I'll win the race, and that's what happened, so, it kind of played out for me. I mean, it sucks to see, Femi kind of get what happened to him there. But, yeah, I saw them get together, and I just went to the apron, didn't lift, and hoped for the best, and came across first. This is actually my first win in SRA, so this is really awesome.
Well, congratulations on picking up your first win. It was very impressive to see you come through the field the way that you did, and we really were. We were sitting up here, and I'll be straight up with you. I saw that I felt like your number one machine did look a little bit faster there in the closing laps on those two, and I kept saying I felt like you were the wild card in that whole thing. That if something were to happen, you might just have something for the leaders, and sure enough, you proved me right. So again, congrats, Jared, on that win. And anybody out there you want to thank for this first win for the number one machine?
Yeah, absolutely. You guys for putting on this broadcast, and everybody in SRA that runs the league. I don't run over here as much as I used to, but I just thank you for letting me run in it. And this means a lot to win over here. There's some really good people in this league, and to race up there with people like Jake Nichols and Femi and David Shutt and all them, and to actually, they kind of got together and I beat them, but I felt like I had pace, or maybe even better pace there at the end there. So it feels really, really good for my confidence racing-wise to win this and beat them. And a shout out to people that watch in the chat and the broadcasts and everything. And shout out to Josh Robin, a good friend of mine. I know he's watching. So yeah, thanks again.
You're very welcome, and congrats on the win, man. Have a great evening.
All right, you too.
Thank you.
There you go, man. Right in the right place at the right time, Ryan. Picking up his first win. That is awesome. We actually have 2 first-time winners. Like I said, Tyler Sifford, and then there we go. And Brett Pancari, and then also, man, there we go, Jared Darling, first-time winners. But this man, well, tonight we're just watching it right there, man, in slow-mo. Boy, it was interesting, but back-to-back. Jake Nichols joined the booth. Got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Well, you had a bad, fast machine tonight. Treacherous track. That battle between you and Femi, it was a war to the end. And to me, it's racing. It's Bristol. Gotta do what you gotta do to get around the guy. Some people might like it, some might not, but you are the champ. Back to back here again, Xfinity Champion Cup champ. here. You came home in second, but man, take us through. Was there anything else that you could have done to get around Femi? Because man, that was awesome watching y'all race.
I don't think there's anything else I could have done. I didn't mean to hit him that. I didn't really hit him that hard on my screen, but I guess just I should have known that with contacts on here, you can't really hit someone without wrecking them anymore. Kind of disappointing, because I think if I was just able to bump him and just send him up the track, we would have had a great finish. It would probably been nose to nose, but the moment I even touched his car, it was over with. And I tried to lift. And I tried to lift a little bit so he could try to hit his left front off my right front to save himself, so he could keep going and just come out of 4, and whoever is going to get it gets it. But I don't think I was high enough to do that. If I was a little higher up on the track, that could happen. But I feel bad in that sense. We just couldn't pass, really. It was so hard. I know Femi all night wanted to be in front of me because he wanted to see what I could do behind him. And I felt like I was so much faster that last run. It was just so hard to pass. And I got to his outside one time. There were like 4 to go. And I knew he wasn't going to let me have it, though. I knew he was either going to pinch me off and we were going to wreck, or I was going to have to lift out. So I lifted out of it just to be safe there. But I knew he was going to send it to the bottom. I could have maybe went to the top and hoped and prayed that there was grip on the last corner there. But all I could do really was just go to the bottom and hope he didn't go there. And we both went for the same spot. And I tried to get to the gas a little earlier just to maybe get to him, or at least get him a little upset with taking air off his spoiler. But I think I just misjudged it. But either way, with how tough the car was to drive, even though we had a lot of yellows, I think that last 100 laps was pretty insane, pretty fun. Even after us all wrecking almost a couple times there. But either way, it was a fun race.
Oh, it was exhilarating to watch y'all two up there battle. I mean, it was just awesome, and I mean that's what the good old days of racing. Now, you know, we said it, and I know Ryan mentioned it earlier in the race. You were the only one that looked like down low that had the grip and was able to make that car stick and do it. But once you got marred back in traffic, looks like that car was starting to come unhinged a lot more coming out of the turns that we could see, you know, up here from our view. And again, like you said, was just having trouble trying to get around Femi. But man, what a battle! I mean, I can't take it away. Obviously, everybody probably would say, man, would have loved seeing y'all come side by side to the finish line. But hey, man, it's Bristol. Bump and run, hit and run, smack and run, whatever you want to call it, steal it and run. Either way, you the champ. Come out of here in a second. Take it, man. We come out of Bristol. What a way to cap the season off. Jake, got anybody you want to thank?
And some speed shot for their support. I'm glad to win both titles for them. I know it's not going to be my most popular win, but I think some will like it because it's just I did everything I had to do or could do. I didn't mean to hit them that hard, but you know, it's just it's what's going to happen. Everything's not perfect. You know, we're on computers, so everything's not going to go everyone's way at any point. So did the best we could though with it, and couldn't thank Sim Speed Shop enough for sponsoring the series here, supporting SRA and Delonte and me also. It's just always fun to race for them. Hopefully we keep that up. We'll probably be back in Cup next season. I don't know about trucks. Still got to make a decision on that one tonight. But either way, it was a great season here at SRA. So thanks to each and every person at Sim Racing Authority that puts on these races and helps out, and it's even just shows up in races. It's always a blast. It's always hard work, and you really learn a lot and have to be really good to win these races or have really good luck. There's so much good talent in here, and some unnoticed because they don't really run open setup races, so some people might not know who they are, but the moment you race with them, you'll find out immediately how good they are. And I can't thank them enough for pushing me to drive my hardest each and every race, that's for sure. And thanks to everyone at Toyota Racing and Toyota Racing Development, Joe Gibbs Racing, of course. These Camrys were fast this season. They were faster than I thought they'd be, but I'm glad we could win the title and both for those. And thanks to you two tonight for broadcasting this race. It's probably a great one, so I'm gonna have to watch that one back. So thanks for all the support and covering all of our series here at Sim Racing Authority.
I mean, I'll tell you what, it's been exciting to watch and been an exciting season to go through, like you just said. And people didn't like that kind of racing, man. You're just not a race fan because that was exhilarating. Hey, again, congratulations on it, Jake. Again, simspeedshop.com coming back next season. Title sponsor here at the Cup Series. Glad about that. I know that announcement was made there. So, hey, hope to see you back in both series, man, there. Jake, again, congratulations on the title, my man, tonight.
Thanks, Joe.
All right, I'll tell you what, right there you go. Let's get the unofficial results order here, because tonight, Jared Darling puts it in the lead, wins it. Man, I tell you, that guy sitting back there, minding his own business. Next thing he knows, hey, the Red Seas part, and he's winning this race, and it is electric. Awesome win by Jared Darling, and definitely keeping his composure. Jake Nichols, last lap. I mean, it was awesome. Last lap to see him right there and win the title. David Shutt coming in third, Delonte Ballard fourth. Bryce Senesac up to fifth there. Brett Pancari sixth, Femi Lot seventh, Tyler Sifford eighth. Kyle Trudell ninth, and Ryan Hunt rounds the top 10. And Ryan, I tell you, man, what a way to cap off a season. I mean, those last 50, 80 laps of battling all the way to the end were just, I mean, the whole race was good, but that was just awesome to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. It was nonstop action right from the drop of the green flag. These guys raced hard all the way through the field all night long, and we kept talking about it. You and I must have said it 100 times. We felt like the bump and run or contact might play into effect in this race, and you come down to the wire at Bristol, and it's for all the marbles. I'm not surprised. We saw what we saw. Jake Nichols is going to walk away with the championship, and he earned it tonight. Led 125 laps here, I believe, or a little bit more than that, and Femi Olat also led a ton of this race as well. We had a few other people mix in who are up front, like David Shutt and stuff like that. But when the dust settled in Bristol, sometimes you're sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And Jared Darling was in the right place at the right time, as we said. Didn't even have to lead any part of the race except the last maybe 300 yards, and that was enough to take home the win tonight in Bristol.
The old saying is, man, it's that last lap. If you're going to lead one, you want to lead that one. And Jared did it, pulling off the victory tonight. But the man Jake's going to pull off the title here. And what a thriller was as we're going to close out the season here for the SimSpeedShop.com Cup Series here at SRA. It's been a pleasure for everyone, myself and all. Y'all have a good night.